What's up, top 5 scary family, and welcome back. Do you ever watch a scary movie, somebody bites the dust, and then you can't help but just laugh out loud in the theater? I mean, sometimes you literally can't help it, straight up. The plot is smooth, all the shots are scary, you're super into it, and then all of a sudden it turns into like this parody almost. These are my favorite moments to watch, especially when the movie is already lackluster. Like, at least I'm laughing now, you know, like I'm feeling some kind of enjoyment from this movie. Well, here to break down 5 of our favorites from different franchises, because let's be honest, I could just take 5 from Saw, throw it in, and call it a day. God, they always pick the dumbest people. I'm Taylor McWatters, and here are our top 5 ridiculous horror movie deaths. Spoilers included, of course. Number 5, Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. First of all, that title is way too long. That's like 13 syllables. Cut that shit in half. I figured it was only fair to start this list off with one of my favorites of all time. We take you now to Friday the 13th, Jason Takes Manhattan. We have a boxer, Julius, played by Vincent Craig Dupree, and Jason Voorhees, played by Kane Hodder. And at this point in the film, we find them on top of a building. It looks like a fight scene in a Batman movie. It's a gorgeous shot. And then in a final attempt of survival, Julius, the professional boxer, takes a stand against the masked killer Jason, who is, you know, immortal. So I counted, and Julius, the professional boxer, gotta keep noting that, Julius punches Jason 56 times. 56 times. There's no music either. It's just the same sound effect used for every single punch. Like, this poor actor had to swing that hard that many times on set. Also, this dude probably had to film this scene like 10 times. As I said, the camera angles are really nice, which means they used more than one take, which means it had different shots for each take. This day of shooting, I'm sure everybody was so pumped on set except for Vincent Craig Dupree. He's probably in his trailer warming up like, 56, are you sure? What about 46? So what happens after Julius punches somebody as hard as he can 56 times? Nothing. Jason is straight up unfazed. So Julius at this point is pretty gassed out, or at least Vincent Craig Dupree, the actor, was. Between breaths, Julius looks at Jason and says, "Take your best shot, motherfucker." And then Jason grabs him by the collar and he takes his best shot. He punches his head off of his body, like literally like clean off. Like, he punches his head off of his neck and body. Even when it falls off the roof, you see it, it's like a shot of it falling, and it's like a clean cut too. Like, it's very clearly a mannequin head. But it wasn't like ripped off or pulled off, you know? It's not like one of those hangnails where you're like, 3, 2, 1, and you pull it and it's like attached to like your shoulder and you're like, Jesus! It's just clean, just nothing. Bam, laser cut. You'll see. Cue the mannequin head. God, it makes me laugh. Number 4, Final Destination 2. Now, a lot of these deaths I'm sure are meant to be pretty out there and wacky, and dare I say funny, but some are too far-fetched and ridiculous to ignore. A lot of them are pretty scary too. I'll start by saying that. The tanning part in Final Destination 3 actually kind of terrified me a lot growing up. Like, I can't use tanning beds. I should, but I can't. For this entry, we go to Final Destination 2, released in 2003, directed by David R. Ellis. This is a disturbing movie for the most part, but we have this one character named Evan, and right off the bat, he's like the cool guy, you know? He wins the lottery, he's got a sick car, he likes driving with his arm out his window, whatever, blast music. He loves eating takeout. This guy is the king, right? So he's hanging out in his apartment, still in the same apartment for some reason. After winning so much money, he still lives in this place. So right after shopping for a new Mac and other stuff, he kicks his door open, comes in, drops off all his new goods, starts whipping up some food. Rather, he warms up some takeout. So while he wasn't looking, a magnet fell into his noodles. Magnet plus microwave equals oops! So, while the magnet noodles are stuck cooking away, he gets his hand stuck in the sink. He was trying to get like a fancy new ring out of the garbage disposal. It was a whole thing. Place starts lighting on fire slowly. His hand is stuck. It's not looking great. It's actually a really anxious scene. This would have been a great way to go out. Bam. His character died by fire in the premonition, so this would have been a cool little nod if he died in a similar way. He finally breaks free from the sink, boom, and then he busts out the windows. After climbing down the ladder on the side of the building, he lands safely on the ground, gives a cool little smirk, and then he slips on some spaghetti. Spaghetti that he had tossed out earlier. The old spaghetti slip. Gotcha. and the ladder falls down and goes through his face/eye/head. Now, they had us in the first half, I'm not gonna lie. Everything that was happening was pretty grounded. But as soon as the whole, hey, this is what happens when you throw food away, kids, don't litter, you can't help but laugh. I mean, this is hilarious. Number 3, Saw 2. Okay, I gotta add at least one of these in a list about ridiculous deaths. So every time I watch Saw, I, amongst other viewers, try and think about how I would get out of that trap. It's kind of the whole point in watching. The movie makes you want to squirm and move and shout at the TV. It's normal, it's all great. But there's one in particular though, just straight up annoyed me. And I'm pretty sure it annoyed you as well. We find Addison after she's broken off from their main group, which is just a place you want to be in a house of horrors, literally. She comes across a glass box hanging from the ceiling. Inside the glass box is the antidote. Nice. There are 2 armholes, 1 antidote. Got it? Sure you do. You're a smart human being. I mean, fair. At this time, she was suffering from the nerve gas, but I don't care. Ridiculous is ridiculous. Math is math. So she waltzes in, literally, puts her hand in, and tries to grab it. Important to note that these are holes that are clearly rigged with blades. So once you put your hand in, it's not easy to get out. Kind of like when you put your finger through a straw drink hole or whatever. For a split second, you're always like you feel like it's gonna be stuck forever. So the needle turns out was glued to the bottom of the glass. So when she tried pulling it, it just pulled the needle apart and the contents spilled out. End of story, you lost. Let's work on getting that other hand out now, huh? What do you say? Nope, she quickly goes, ah, damn it. Puts her other hand in the other hole. I remember seeing this in theaters. Everybody in the theater was just like, nah, I hate this chick so much. The antidote is spilled. You already lost. You can look up and see it spilled. Oh my god, these Saw movies are pretty good considering what they are, but this trap, it just gets me angry. What do you guys think? Was it the state of mind that she was in, or was she just not the brightest in all murder houses? Let's talk about it down below, because I'm pissed. Number 2, Hellraiser 3. This one is amazing. Okay, if you've seen Hellraiser 3, you already know what I'm about to say, probably. Released in 1992 and directed by Anthony Hickox, this is the 3rd installment of the classic Hellraiser series. See, I told you I'm trying to get a little bit from everything, you know? Keep it fair. So there's a scene right after Pinhead returns to Earth, where the dude just unleashes chaos on everybody in this boiler room party. Everyone's getting whacked in this scene. There's dudes getting impaled, chains wrapping around people's necks. Oh, and then this girl's drink just rises out of her cup and like stabs her in the face. Check it out. Also, this isn't my main point, but at the same time in this scene, everybody's getting messed up in the background. And then it cuts to this girl just chilling, holding her drink, not phased at all at this moment until her drink comes out. And then she's like, oh, something's not right. Damn. Like all of a sudden, like this is what happens? Like get out of here. She's not even out of breath. No chance. Anywho, back to the ridiculous death in this scene. We cut to a guy also just straight up chilling. And as fate would have it, he just happens to be surrounded by CDs. CDs are the things that us old folks would use back in the day to listen to music. Yeah, it was awesome. LimeWire, great program. Nothing but smooth sailing there. And the CDs that were hanging out just start flying into this dude's head, like Haunted Mansion style. This dude dies by CDs, compact discs, more like high compact discs, am I right? Sorry, yeah. Just one at a time, bam, bam, bam. He even catches one in his mouth at some point. So the speed of the flying discs change, I guess. I don't know, sure. It's pretty funny. It actually reminds me of that scene from The Grinch where he's tossing the mail in like different slots.
Jury duty, blackmail, pink slip, chain letter, eviction notice, jury duty.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I've thrown a CD at some point in my life. I grew up with an older brother, so I've definitely thrown a CD in my life. We love tossing stuff at each other. I mean, when we're getting mad, it happens. We love tossing stuff at each other in a fit of rage, but I mean, the CD going into your skull? I never tossed it that hard, although I may have tried numerous times. Sorry, Kyle. And finally, number 1, Child's Play. I've talked about Chucky before on this channel numerous times. I just don't get it. How can this thing possibly be this scary? It's a doll. He's the size of a doll. He's the size of a child. Just run away, walk over, step over him, just walk away, do anything, just leave the room. I mean, sure, he's strong and invincible or whatever, but look at his legs. I mean, what are those? I could walk away from this guy, literally. Look at these legs. Good luck, Chucky. Okay, so Child's Play, directed by Lars Klevberg, was a reboot of the classic. It wasn't that bad, to be honest. Aubrey Plaza Plaza was great. Mark Hamill voiced Chucky too, so if you missed it, give it a shot. It's actually pretty decent. So we have Shaner, and he's a not so nice guy, played by David Lewis. And he's a guy who doesn't like Christmas.
Doesn't like Christmas. Take a look at his mailbox, sweetie. Not a single Christmas card, in or out.
Bam! 2 Grinch mailroom references in one video. Who is this guy? So the scene starts off with Shane climbing a ladder to take down some Christmas lights. And he's not in the best mood while he does it either. He does that dad mumble where he complains but like only to himself at a low volume, you know? This is what I'm talking about. So he starts taking the Christmas lights down at the top of this ladder, and he even says out loud, "Oh, I guess I should have unplugged the lights before doing this." Yeah, man, that or maybe don't climb a ladder and do this at night when literally nobody can see or hear you. Shaner, classic. Shane, so silly. So the ladder shakes and he's frightened. He looks down and he sees nothing. And instead of getting off the ladder to take a closer look, he just goes, "Those raccoons," and then goes about his business. Sure. Then the ladder fully falls and he lands and breaks his leg. His kids are rocking some fat headphones so they don't hear a thing. It's actually super funny too. They're just blasting Cardi B while Shane screams for his life while there's a bone sticking out of his legs. Unreal. And as if that wasn't bad enough, in comes Chucky. Well, kind of. I mean, you see his little hand turn on the snowblower. And then the snowblower starts pulling in the Christmas lights and shredding those up. Yet the lights still remained functional. Okay. I feel like if the lights flickered on and off while Chucky was coming at him, it may have been a bit scarier, I don't know, or less ridiculous, one of the two. So Chucky hops on Shane's chest while he's holding back this now very close snowblower, and he says, "It's tickle time," and then stab, 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 stab. And while his head got messed up from the machine, sure, Shane was a dick, and this death was kind of a good part in the movie, dare I say. But this whole scenario, I mean, come on, there's just no way. I mean, part of his hair shot out of the snowblower and landed on a gnome's head. Super funny, also super impractical. Well, there you have it, guys. Those are our top 5 ridiculous horror movie deaths. Look, there's obviously way too many of these to pick from. I already know I forgot some good ones, so I'll be sure to add them in a little sneaky part 2. Maybe the part 2, I don't know. Who knows? I don't tell. Comment down below which ones you'd like to see, and it's happening. Before you go, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and while you're at it, head over here and smash the notification bell as well. That way you're up to date with new premieres, like a big spooky happy family. I'm Taylor McWatters, and we'll see you next time.